Hey, what's going on? Y'all already know who it is. The host of one of the most latest shows on all the social media. This is PaulTv, and this is PaulTv over on now YouTube. A lot of people have been talking to me as far as about the P. Diddy situation and what I think is going to happen. I'm going to tell you right now, all this, they trying to get him for racketeering, and they're trying to get him for sex trafficking. No, they're not going to be able to get him for that. Because it's nothing even about, if anything, they're going to get him for domestic violence. Because everything is, when you've been, look, what has been done to Cassie. It hasn't been nothing brought up about, him raping other women or nothing like that. So, I don't know, or him sex trafficking or anything like that. If anything, it's all based on Cassie, even with the testimony that came from her former best friend. That Diddy, he beat her with a wooden hanger, and because he was mad, because he wanted to know who Cassie was cheating with or whatever the case being. So, I'm not gonna lie, the defense, they're doing a poor job on, as far as about, the government, they don't have a case on sex trafficking. I'm going to be honest with you. They really don't like it. It's just all on his treatment of Cassie. What they got him on. So as far as he's sex trafficking and, no. So like I said, they're probably going to get him for domestic violence. But as far as all that other stuff about him sex trafficking and all of that, nah. If anything, it just proved that Diddy was an abuser and he had a sick sexual appetite. Because there's no way, I'm going to tell you right now, there's no way I'm going to let my woman go out. I'm going to have her go out and she's having sex with other men, and then I would allow, after that, their fluids to be rubbed on my chest afterwards. That, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? The sexual stuff that he wanted to do was just out of this hemisphere. But it gets back to what I say, and I always will say, and I say this all the time, females, if you're in a situation where you're seeing that you love somebody, but y'all relationship is starting to get abnormal, get out. I say this all the time. Get out. If you're getting hit and you're getting abused, get out. Because what you do, if you sit around and allow this to go on, then you're a bigger problem, because you could have been stopped this person from doing shit. And what normally happens is they move on to doing it to other people. And then it becomes, there's other victims that wouldn't have existed had you put your foot down and stood up. See, that'd be the only thing it'd be with me. That they allow this stuff to get out of control and they could have been stopped it. And you don't. It's not that much love in the world. Like I tell anybody, my female loves me to death. My female will do anything in the world for me. If I'm sitting down right now and I needed a kidney, my female would actually give up her kidney for me to live. I'm not afraid to say that if I was in a burning building, she's going to come in that building and get me. But, because on PaulTv, I got to hit you with the but. But there's no way my female would have been that naive to degrade herself for me. No, she's not going to do all of that. Now, she'll go way beyond. Like I said, my female is one of the most kindest people that you would ever want to meet. I give her that hands down. If it's my female is that kind. But, my female, say if I'm hungry, she gonna make sure I'ma eat. You know what I'm saying? She not gonna see me messed up. If she can do anything to help me, she gonna make sure I'm good. But there is no way, and I mean no way in 8 hells, my female, it's no way I could have told my female to do the shit that Cassie was doing, or to even put up with the stuff that Cassie was putting up with. And she wouldn't have gave a fuck if I had $1 million or $1 billion. I can't even picture myself saying, oh yeah, well honey, I want you to go out, find a man, let the man hit you, then after he hits you, then unprotected, then after he hits you, or whatever, then I want you to bring it to me so I can rub it on my chest. Yeah, okay. What time is it? It's about to be 9 o'clock in the morning. Guess what? By 9:15, 9:20, my female got her bags packed and she rolling. My female, she's not even gonna let me disrespect her like that. And I know what certain people gonna say, oh, well, nah, nobody in their right mind. Like I say, everybody got a little freaky side to them. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have limits with certain shit. You got to have limits. Like me. I'm a freak, but at the same time, hey, you ain't tying me up. I ain't putting on no leather clothes with no whips and shit like that. But that's normal for some people. But it gets to a point where it's like, okay, now now you gotta come in and we got to do drugs, and then you know what I'm saying? Then you got to bring toys, and you got to bring chains, and we got to tie people up and beat them. And no. That's a little too much. I ain't gonna lie. As far as my sexual wise, I'm still in pre-K a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I do the basics. You know what I'm saying? You can get on top of me, right? You know what I'm saying? Hit you from I can hit you from the back. You know what I'm saying? Certain things of that type of nature. Now, I'm not gonna lie, me and my female's case, we have been offered up by bisexual females to join in. My female will tell you that. And we was even like, nah, cause that sharing shit complicates stuff. But like I say, you can still say that is normal. You know what I'm saying? Bisexual, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case, that's in the norm. But the shit that Diddy was on, 1,000 things, a baby oil, and all of that, hell no. I can see, man, what the fuck we got all this baby oil for? I mean, I know niggas get a little ashy, but the fuck is this? What we doing with all of this? Like, I can imagine. I can just imagine my female meet me on the first time, and she come in my house, and it's dildos and baby oil all over the place. I can hear, I can see she don't look. My female would have probably been like, see, my female got a bachelor's degree of psychology. So she gonna let you sit down and she gonna be like, you know, what's all of this? What we got going here? What's up with all this baby oil and all this? See, my female asks questions. She don't give a fuck about how much money you got or whatever the fuck you got going on. She gonna ask questions. But see, I would tell people a lot of these females was with the shits. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these females was with it. A lot of them people at them parties, they was with it. Because I kept saying to myself, I'm like, how can you go to a party? Dog. So you been telling me we sitting at a party, because I know people that go to parties and say, hey, I don't drink. So let me get this straight. You going to parties, and if he was drugging people, like how they say he was drugging people, you mean to tell me you in a party, all 300 people, everybody falling out at the party, and nobody going to take no notice of this shit? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. So I said, nah, man. Some of them motherfucking people, they was with the shits. They was with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, Cassie was with it because in the transcript, she was the aggressor with the freak offs at certain points. That's how I say, man. But see, when you don't have limits to certain shit, and I've been brought, when you don't have limits for certain shit, that's when things get out of control. When you don't, why you think these kids out here doing what the fuck they do? Because see, when we was coming up in the old school, you knew certain shit you couldn't pull. You knew, okay, we can't be disrespectful out in public. Because if I show off, not only, if they tell, oh, I'm going to get my ass whooped by my grandparents, then by my uncles, my aunts, then my mother, and then when my dad get home, I'm getting my ass whooped. So, okay, I can't go out here acting no hooligan. But see, these days and times, there's no rules now. These kids don't have no consequences to nothing, and that's why you seeing violence amongst teenagers is up like shit. They the ones being the aggressors now. Why? Because there's no consequences to nothing that they do. Because they already know. Shit, if my parents say something, it's a double-edged sword. Because if you as a parent whoop their ass, then you can go to jail for that. But then yet society is telling you, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think a Diddy case, see how I'm making it all intertwined? Because he had no rules. Diddy had so much money that Diddy could do whatever he wanted to do. And he felt as though I could make up the rules, but see, everybody got a structure that they got to answer to. And there's certain people that got to a point, they like, oh, Diddy, you doing a little too much, my nigga. My guy, you doing way too much. No, and they said, and that's why he going through what he going through. The whole thing stemmed from Diddy and Ciroc. Yeah, I said it. This is what all this is stemming from. It's stemming from Diddy being a black man, caught into the liquor industry, and he like, hold on. Why can't I get ownership? If I'm going to be the face, I want to have ownership. And then I think somehow, some way he was getting underpaid. So Diddy was like, fuck it. He was about to bring out a big lawsuit. Just do the timeline. Like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I damn sure don't like that woke shit. Them woke motherfuckers kill me. They just know everything. God get them, like, they know it all. I'm like this, but if y'all so woke, and y'all know the system, like how y'all say y'all do, then why half y'all motherfuckers be broke then? Because I tell them, if you're getting messages, you can read them into some line, you get messages from God. Please tell me what the Powerball to Mega Millions number going to be, so a motherfucker don't got to go to work no more. That's all I'm saying. Except y'all know so much. But that just goes to they full of shit too. But I'm just saying. I'm not none of that. But I got common sense. I know 2 + 2 is 4. I know if you add 2 to that 4, that's 6. And if you add 6 to that 2, you add 2 to that 6, that's 8. And if you add 2 to that 8, that's 10. And you add 2 to that 10, that's 12. It's just pure fucking common sense. So after everything, then yeah, all of a sudden, yeah. Because you got to look. Man, then he was getting Lifetime Achievement Awards. He was kissing babies, got the key to the city, and all of that shit. And you can't tell me this much shit was going on and didn't nobody know about nothing. Like I sit up here and said, you know, it's just crazy. But now, you know, so Diddy's definitely not going down for racketeering. He's definitely not going down for that. Or sex trafficking. He's definitely not going down for that. He definitely ain't. But what I think they will probably try to get him is, now, domestic violence. Yeah. But sex trafficking, no. If they was trying to prove that by Cassie testimony alone, you can tell. Because that's not a fact or nothing. If anything, they're going to get him for the abuse he did towards Cassie. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, they'll probably just try to get him, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I think he gonna walk on the sex trafficking. He definitely gonna walk on that. Because you can't tell me this many people was going to the parties. See, first of all, the whole raid on his house or whatever. Because at a lot of them parties, they already said that Diddy had cameras in the walls and all that. So you can only imagine. Because a lot of people was going to their parties. A lot of people was going to the Diddy party. Just like they was going on that island with Jeffrey Epstein or whoever he was. When they was all going on that island with him. That's why they had to get rid of him. You see, they offed him. Yeah. So, yeah. So in this case, you know, they're trying to paint this picture of Diddy. Like I said, and I will say again, I'm not saying what Diddy did to Cassie was right, but, because I'm probably hit you with the but I'm a firm believer. I said a lot of these females don't be victims, you know. Like I said, it was wrong that he beat on her or whatever, but Cassie was with this shit. She was with it. And I could just imagine being her husband. You married, and you got to sit down there, and you got to listen to this shit. You got to hear this, like, oh my, your pregnant wife at that. Like, it's just crazy, Slim. It's just like certain shit. I'm sorry, you just can't touch, Slim. You just can't touch. Like, and the whole thing about it, you know, and this goes to show, women can be into some shit or be just as worse as men, man. And it's sad how we're always looked at as the monsters. You know what I'm saying? Just like I tell people in the R. Kelly case, in my opinion, if R. Kelly is in jail, where is these parents? Why they ain't in jail? I always say females are not always victims. And people attack me for that, but they're not. Like, it's a prime example. How I was talking to a friend of mine. And I'm going to tell you, she's not basically looking at old. And guess what she told me? She said, well, yeah, you know, a friend of mine came over. I had a little day. He came over. I got in the shower. I said, I wanted you to pee on me. I wanted him to pee on me. And he did it. And I ain't have a problem with it. And then she kept explaining, this goes to show you the mindset when you have money. And then she was telling me, yeah, you know, well, you know, and I said, if you know, he a billionaire, whatever the case is. Like I said, so let me get this straight. So when she said that, I'm looking like, what? So I said, so let me ask you something. So, because I want to make sure I'm hearing this straight. Because you know, when you hear some shit, you'll be like, because we try not to judge, you try not to label shit. So you said, well, let me ask. So I said, well, let me hit you with a scenario. So I said, so say you dealing with a dude, right? He sit up here and tell you, okay, yeah, well, I want to fuck you. Then after that, I'm gonna hit a guy in front of you. You will be okay with that? And she said and told me, well, you know, I mean, if that's his fetish, I mean, I'm not gonna try to judge. I mean, he got money. And that right there shows me how these bitches be going. Because let me tell you, like I say, she is not a basic female. I give her credit if you see the average dude is going after her. But this came out of her mouth. Out of her mouth. And I'm looking like, what? And like I say, she has a look where she gonna be with the stars or whatever. I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't gonna even take it away from her. Like, she's not a basic looking female at all. And I'm just sitting up here looking like, because on PaulTv, I gotta hit you with the butt. But she is from California. So I don't know. You know, Hollywood. So a lot of stuff maybe that they put up with in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she is from California. I'm not going, yeah, she is from there. She live in the Bay Area. You know what I'm saying? And it just shocked me because you actually let somebody pee on you? She was like, yeah. I said, oh. I said, see, I'm in the kindergarten stage of sex then. If you going like that, because I'm not going to get turned on by nobody peeing on me or no shit like that. Hell no. Nah. You ain't going to even turn me. I get turned on by the thing that a man's supposed to, like a female with a fat butt. You know what I'm saying? Or she got some nice, you know, some nice titties or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, or she put on a little dress or put on some little jeans. You like, damn, she looking thick in them joints. Like, yeah, like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Or if I was single, two females kissing. That used to turn, I ain't afraid to say it. Yeah, I was cool with that. But that shit that Diddy was into? Like, nah, young. Peeing on people. But it goes to show. I'm like, but then I have to look. With the notoriety and what Diddy had and the money that Diddy had, some of these females was just going for whatever. And when my friend said what she said, it just put me in the right mind frame. And she's bad. But I'm like, if I was single, she ain't nobody. Definitely, if I was doing something by her saying that, I have to strap up, son. Because you already open. If the money, right, you're open to some shit. And this is what it's all about. These females be open to certain shit. And this came out a friend of mine's mouth. Like, as clear as I'm sitting in front of this camera, we was on the FaceTime, and she told me this shit out of her own mouth. If I'm lying, may God take breath out my body. And me as a man, I'm just sitting up there like, wow, like, really? I couldn't even believe. But it goes to show, money and influence and power walk. So a lot of these films be going for stuff. And then when the shit get out of hand, then it's, oh, I'm a victim. Or they try to act like they naive. Oh, I didn't know what was going on. Or, nah. The whole time, they be with the shits. They be with it, huh? You know, and it just be crazy. But like I say, man, I don't know who are these prosecutors or what is the government trying to prove, but it damn sure ain't sex trafficking. And it damn sure ain't racketeering. It damn sure ain't that. But like I said, Diddy would probably get, well, like I say, his reputation is basically ruined. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he'll be able to produce no more records or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Or shit like that. Or I don't know about how remote TV is. You know what I'm saying? Do he still got ownership of that or whatever? So he definitely done took a hit. He done took a hit that I definitely, I mean, to be honest, he got too much money not to live comfortable. But he'll never be the same. He'll never be in the light like how he was. He won't be out there like, you know, dancing around and all of that shit like how he was, or being in TV shows or movies. That is done. That, I ain't gonna even lie. I know they say never say never. That is over for him. It's over. He won't get that. He'll still be able to live comfortably. Don't get it twisted, because Diddy got way too much money. So he good. But as far as the notoriety and the shit that he once had, that's over. He'll just be in obscurity. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, these women be putting up with a lot. They accept a lot just because of the money and the fame and the stardom. You know, and like I said up there and said, you know, it's a lot of women who go through shit, ain't no payment, ain't no $30 million, or none of that shit. A lot of women is forced into stuff, because I know a lot of women, because they are homeless. They don't have nowhere to go. Cassie had a thriving career. Cassie was a songwriter. Cassie had hits before she even got with Diddy anyway. Cassie was going to be out regardless. So a lot of that shit, she didn't even have to put up with. So you have to ask yourself, why now? That's all I'm saying about this. Why now? Not saying Diddy was right in anything that he did. Because I'm not. Let me repeat, I'm not saying that. But why now? Why didn't she leave? Why didn't she step up and speak out about certain shit that was going on? That's all I'm saying. But like I say, Diddy's reputation is ruined. You know, he fucked up. He would never be able to be on the level that he once was. That's over for him. I ain't gonna lie. R. Kelly got a better chance of getting back to where he was before Diddy. Diddy shit is over. But at the same time, the whole thing is, like, when people that, no, they can't get him for racketeering, and they damn sure can't get him for sex trafficking. You know, but like I say, it's just crazy, man, that with all the money and shit that people be having and the shit they want to put themselves into, and you can't think when you on a big plate that you could keep doing bullshit like that and just think, oh, people tell off little shit. So what makes you think you up there in the limelight? What makes you think you was going to be able to get away with this shit? That's what I just be wanting to think. What makes you think that I'm going to get away with this? Hell no. Hell no. I wish they be having me in that circle. I be like, man, you beating on cat for what? No, you have anybody. Like, come on, man. Having too much money, just being black, doing dumb shit, man. I swear, man. But anywho, man, write in the comments. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, write to me if you think Diddy gonna pull a lot of, do a lot of years. Like I said, they could probably get him for domestic violence. So yeah, write that in the comments. Do you think they're gonna be able to convict him on sex trafficking and the RICO case? My opinion, no. No. They won't be able to get him for that. But write in my comments. But other than that, please like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? It keeps my channel growing. And I look forward, and write to me if y'all want me to talk about other things. I have no problem with that. But until next time, I love everybody. Take care. And before I go, salute to my soldiers. Thank you and your fans for the sacrifice you guys have made to make my platform even possible. Everybody have a great Tuesday. Take it easy. And before I leave, man, never degrade yourself as any person, as a man or as a woman. If you're in a situation and you got to step over certain lines or certain types of boundaries that you have for yourself, then that relationship nor love is that deep for you to degrade yourself or put yourself in harm's way. Because before you can look for anybody else to love you, you got to love yourself first. Always keep that in mind. Until next time, this has been PaulTv. This has been PaulTv Am. Take care, everybody. Have a great Tuesday. Peace.